We'll get started in just a couple of minutes, guys.
There I am.
Hey, Connie.
Hey.
Is that a picture of the lot?
Can you hear me? Am I on mute? No.
I can hear you fine.
Yay, yay. And I'm so sorry, darling, about your grandma.
Thank you, sweetie.
Yeah, yeah. Tough times, I'm sure.
Not easy, I know. I want to go and throw my arms around my uncle's necks, but
yeah.
Well, that will have to wait.
Yay. Well, thank you for doing this today.
You bet. I love designs.
And I'll go on to mute here. Can you see the gray yet? Yeah.
There's no gray there.
Yeah, there is. Trust me. And this, I haven't had my hair cut since January 28th, but who's counting?
I haven't either. I haven't either. Look how long my hair is getting. Here, I'll show you guys.
Oh gosh, yeah.
My hair's gotten.
I've got an appointment for July 7th.
There you go. Yeah, I've pushed all my appointments to July and August.
Well, that's the earliest they would take me.
Really?
I would go tomorrow if I could.
No, I'm still sheltered in place, as you can see.
Yeah. Hello, people.
Hi.
Hey, everyone.
Well, I felt so good. I did a contract in command 2 days ago. So
good job.
Yeah.
That's great.
I figure I may keep .loop for about a month, you know, just to kind of have a little overlap, because I don't want to get in a situation where all of a sudden I'm going, oh heck, I don't know how to do this.
It's good to have a backup plan for sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
I have not had a crisis with DocuSign yet, though, so that's good.
Yeah.
No.
I used them probably 8 years ago and loved them. Actually, I liked the fact that that you could have things signed in a certain order.
Mhm.
But actually, Julianne, I was going to go back to you or Kim later. I did have to go in and adjust in my profile because I guess the default was that it was showing my timestamp on Central Time.
Huh.
And so I went into my profile and was able to change it there. But in the meantime, I had a document that stamped Central Time. But the only other thing.
It was in your profile, not in your computer?
In my profile.
Huh.
It was in my profile and I don't know if it was my profile in Command or probably my profile in DocuSign.
I bet.
Yeah. And so I don't know, maybe DocuSign is based out of Central Time Zone. And so that's their default. But I was not able to get I kind of wanted it to where it would come to me first for signal. Actually, it's like even in .loop, when you finish doing a thing, it asks you, do you want to go ahead and sign now?
Mhm.
And I was expecting that and it didn't.
Mhm.
So I had to go to my email to actually sign the document.
And mine does that every once in a while where it doesn't do it automatically and I have to go to my email to check it.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if there was something that I needed to set as a default in the profile.
I
Yeah,
think
I feel like it gives me the opportunity to go ahead and sign it now, but it only stays up there for just a second.
For like half a second, yeah.
Not long enough.
Not long enough for me to click on it. So
Right.
I don't know, maybe we can reach out to the help desk or something and see if we can't get that figured out.
Yeah, cool.
And there's Kevin in his car. Woohoo!
Where are you going, Kevin?
Well, I'm almost to the office. Didn't want to miss
Oops, your voice is breaking up.
Well, that's where I am. I'm actually teaching from a conference room at the office, which is fun. I haven't set up shop here in a while. So today we are going to talk about designs, which is one of my favorite parts because I love marketing and I love being creative. And so designs has been one of my favorite pieces, and it's one of the pieces right off the bat. I have had so fun with designs, and so teaching it is exciting because I'm not sending you into something that I think you're going to have any with. So I can see like less than half of you, but if you can do your little hands at the bottom, do you guys know how to raise your hand or your real hand, either one? And let me know, raise your hand. There's a thumbs up from Julianne if you use designs already.
I put a thumbs up and now I don't know how to remove it.
I see the thumbs up. Danielle's used it. Julianne's used it.
It goes away after a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. Diane has used it. Awesome. You guys have at least logged in there and tried it, right? Good. Well, today I'm going to walk you guys through creating a neighborhood video. Has everybody done a neighborhood video yet? Cool. You guys are going to like these. They're really easy to do. So we're going to create a neighborhood video, and then we're going to look at print designs, and we'll probably play around with setting up a flyer. And then we're going to talk about social designs last. So we will go through all of those. And I will start sharing my screen. Let's get started. Good. Okay, so back at the dashboard. Okay. So Here we are back at the command dashboard, logged in. One thing I want to point out before we get started is when you customize your dashboard, there is a widget called design updates. So you may or may not have design updates toggled as on. If I turn that on, mine is at the very bottom. You can always see on the front page the newest designs available. So you can see they've put a couple of new designs about thanking local heroes. This one I thought was really cute, to choose your quarantine house.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Hey, Carrie, I noticed that I must have toggled on and put something, because if I do, for anybody that's using my app, or I would assume if you're doing a command like a campaign and you get ads, it's showing them at the very bottom of my home screen. So everybody needs to make sure that they go on. Where is that you went to create your home screen?
My home screen. To customize your home screen, I'm logged in here and there's a turquoise button in the top right. Can you guys see that? I've got other junk up there, so let me move you over. So right up here in the top right, there's customize home screen. So when I click on that, on the left side, you can check the things you want to see. Like I'm not going to use Notepad, so I don't have that one on there.
But definitely make sure that you all have leads checked. So anybody that's like, because you can see who's using your app or whatever come in. So that's important.
Yeah. So, and I can, on the right, I can move them around. So I can take this leads module and I can do it up to the top so that it should
nice.
First.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then the playbook is new. That's the playbook is they're publishing videos. So today there's a video by Gary Keller on there that you can just hit play right there and watch it right on your desktop. So kind of a good way to have a piece of content like every morning as you're getting going, that's inspiring and positive and will kind of help start your day right. Okay. So again, I'll just apply those changes so you can see now my leads are up here on the right. I'm not sure why they all say a few seconds ago, because these were not all registered just a few seconds ago. And you can see with the check mark, that's somebody who has my app installed. So that's cool. And then you can see Gary here if I want to watch him. And then again, down at the bottom are the latest designs. They even are putting a featured design that somebody in the company has made. So they feature a different design that somebody has made each day. Okay, so to get in designs, all designs is a really high-end graphic design software that is inside of your command. So you're not going to be actually posting or sending within designs. Those are done in campaigns. That's one little piece of confusion I've seen a few times, is to actually use your designs. You're going to be going into campaigns, which Kevin is teaching on June 8th. But designs is just the software that you're going to use to put together the actual graphics and pieces that you can use other places. And as you'll see as we walk through it, and I teach you some stuff about it, Keller Williams has hired a whole graphic design department that is putting together awesome content for you guys, so you don't even have to think about it. I used to use Canva Pro, and I love Canva Pro. I still do. There's a few things about how it works that I prefer, probably just because I'm used to it. But the fact that we have so much preloaded, awesome stock design in designs here, it makes it well worth, because we have a lot of great real estate and Keller Williams marketing stuff to use here. So when you first click on designs here on the left, and it's like a little canvas with a pencil. If you want to see the titles of all these, you can hover over it, or you can click on the KW in the upper left corner, and it'll actually show you the words. Okay, so we're going to go in designs. The first screen you're going to see is my design templates. So if you have nothing here, it's only because you haven't been playing with designs as much as I have. So anything that you create gets automatically saved on this page. And if you only want to see, let's say, the print pieces that you've designed, you can click on print, and it'll just show you the flyers and other print pieces that you've worked on, okay? Maybe all the social things that you've created. So you can narrow it down. You can also create folders. I'll show you that when we open up the actual design software. So let's start with a video because it's super easy, and I think you guys are going to be impressed with what you can do and use it on your social media today. So in the bottom right corner, you're going to hit the turquoise plus button. That's what you're going to do anytime to create a new piece. So if you hit the plus, it's going to make you pick which media you want to create for. So are we creating an email, social, print, video, or import of PDF? So I'm going to create a video. If you want to import photos and text from a listing, you're going to click that right there. It's not really applicable to a video. We'll do that in a minute when we create a flyer. So I'm going to hit video and I'm going to hit next. So on this screen, we're going to search for a nearby neighborhood. So I know a lot of you guys see what's going on in Indian Hills. A lot of times you have to put the city. There's Indian Hills all over the country. So I'm going to pick Indian Hills, Marietta, Georgia, right here. So we've got a check mark right there, and then I'm going to hit the next button. So this is where I can actually update the information. So when I'm making these for my social media or my client emails, I'm going to go to the FMLS and I'm going to search Indian Hills real quick, just a quick. Let's just go ahead and do it. I'm hoping that the accuracy of these automatically produced numbers is going to get better and better now that KWLS is only putting one copy of all of our listings. But I have found, so let's just do a wildcard Indian Hills search. And so there are 20 listings right now in Indian Hills. So if I go back to my command, it's telling me there's 43. So it's still pulling about double of that. So I'm going to change that 43 to 20. I'm going to assume that the average home price and average square footage and average price per square footage is good though, because if I have twice as many listings, those averages should be about right. And honestly, if it's close and my gut says, yeah, that's probably about right, then I'm just going to use it. Nobody's going to question, is it 602 or is it 584, right? Although I do think personally, I don't like cents in my, nobody talks about cents in home prices, right? So I usually take the cents out of those averages. So average home prices are on the rise, days on market are 53. The neighborhood top 3, this is what consumers say this neighborhood is all about. So I could say Indian Hills probably is about daytime leisure, gardening, and luxury culture. But if you wanted to take one of these off and say golf, oh, I can't believe golf is not one. Organized sports is one. Okay, so you can put whatever you want there. Make sure your agent information is correct. This is going to pull from your marketing profile. So as long as you filled that out already, that should be right. And then your market center brokerage information should be updated as well if your marketing profile is done. And then I'm just going to hit next. So it usually does only take about 10 seconds. Hopefully they won't prove me wrong. Okay, so my video is already ready. I'll let you guys watch it real quick. It's just a 1-minute video. Super cute, right? Okay, so now that I've created that video, when I go to my video templates, there's that Indian Hills video ready to use. So I can click on the 3 dots. I can download it to my computer. I can use it directly in a campaign, which means a paid ad, or I can share it directly on social. So if I click on share on social, and my Facebook is already connected through my settings, it's going to go to social posts, and you can fill in all the information that you want, and you can schedule that post right here. Okay, so Kevin's going to be talking about campaigns and how you actually do this. You can also just download it directly and then upload it to your Facebook like you would post a little video right from your phone. In your text, I would definitely say download my app and put your app download text, that link, so that the video talks about download my app for all this information. And the text here, you want to make sure and give them how to do that, right? So I think that's a great little thing that you can put on social right away, and you can use designs to make that for any neighborhood. So you guys know you could do that in Command? Yay! Okay, so I think those videos are really great. Next, I think those, side note, I think those would do really well on LinkedIn. I think they look very professional. I think that would be a great thing to download and then upload it to LinkedIn. Okay.
Hey, quick question. It appears that the video, its real push is to get people to your KW app.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I need to go back in, and maybe others do too, and make sure that my app is up to date.
Is up to date, yep. And the best place to do that is right here under the consumer tab.
Let me move something so I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you click the consumer tab.
I'm not seeing that on your screen. Yeah.
Right here, I clicked
It's
on
okay.
consumer. And then under site and app settings.
Gotcha.
Then you can click the Kelly guide, and the Kelly guide will walk you right through it.
Thank you.
You betcha. All right, back to designs. So, yes, you can leave that. Any other questions about those videos? Great. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to design a flyer. So we will pick a listing and make a new just listed flyer for it. So I'm going to click on the turquoise button to design a new piece. And I'm going to design a print piece. So in print, you've got a bunch of flyer options, as well as postcards and bifolds and a bunch of other stuff I'll show you. We are going to import photos and text from a listing. So we're going to use a listing in KWLS to make this flyer. If you forget to do this here, no worries. We can do it later also. You can hit next. It's going to prompt me to find the address. It's this one that we just reduced the price on, and then we can do maybe a price adjustment flyer. All right, so this is going to take me in to see all of my print templates. So you can see the categories are, they have a bunch of stuff to promote your app. Listings, buyers, lead gen, basics, leadership. They separate out the new designs down here, which I think is interesting. These bifold flyers are new. And then pivot. So pivot is stuff that they've been developing here, like kind of since the COVID shutdown stuff. One of the things they just rolled out is a kids activity book about house hunting. So I think that's really cute. But if we want to talk about a price reduction on our listing, we've got, they do have 2 listing presentations in here, side note. So those are available, and they also have 2 buyer presentations. So take a look at those. They're pretty great. You can edit them to suit your needs and delete pages and whatever you need to do in there. But if I want to see, real quick, let me just go over what's in here before I forget. Lead Gen has a lot of things. There's what's my house worth, door hangers, flyers, postcards, event invitations, flyers, postcards. So I think that's a nice looking event invitation. Client love is where all of the, well, this has thank you cards, but in the social client love section, that's where all your birthday and home anniversary items are. And then I love KW, has some promotional stuff about KW. Business Basics is going to be your letterhead and business cards. So if you want to create some business cards and then send them somewhere local to print, you can do that. And then Leadership has, you know, a bunch of things for Jim and other office leadership to use. So that's an overview of all the stuff that there is in print. And one of the things I suggest you do, because these designs are being constantly top graded. So they're adding new ones all the time. I suggest you just get in here every once in a while and make something. And one of the tips I heard from a national trainer was they actually put in their 411 that every week, everybody on their team was going to make something. So it doesn't matter what it is, just get in there and you'll start to gravitate towards your favorites. Here at the top, you can see we're in the template section, but I can click over to my designs and I can see everything that I've designed already in print. And so if I wanted to copy something from here, this is the same thing that was on that front page. You can start with a perfectly blank template. So if you just want to start with a white rectangle, you can do that. Import PDF, I'm going to talk about in a minute, but this just came out a few weeks ago and it is awesome. If you have, you know, your first mentor's buyer guide that you love, and you keep saying, I'm just going to copy that someday, R&D it, but it's a PDF and you don't have a copy of the original design file. Or let's say you spent a lot of money to have something designed and now it's outdated, right? You can use the import PDF tool to import a PDF, and Command breaks it down into the individual pieces that you can edit, which is really cool. Okay, so I'll show you how that works. I'm going to make a flyer and then download it and then upload it so you can see how that happens. I actually did it with this one. I ripped this off from an agent friend with permission, just to get ideas for a seller guide, a fancy seller guide, right? So I uploaded this as a PDF, and I'll go and edit it. It didn't have a couple of the, woo, that's no good. On the brakes. It didn't have a couple of the fonts that the original had used. It was a little confused about a couple things, but it really did a good job of replicating it to where I could start and not have to start from scratch, right? All right, let's see. Have I messed myself up? Quite possibly. Let's go back to designing our flyer. Okay, so I'm going to go back to listings and I'm going to do a price update flyer. Once we're back to door knocking, hopefully soon, maybe I would do a door hanger, and then Avery makes printable door hangers, or you could just drop them somewhere local to print. But I'm going to do a flyer for now. And I'm going to pick the one that I like the way it looks best. I would probably use this one. And then to edit it, I'm going to click use. So use is going to open it up so I can edit it. So now I've got this flyer open. I forgot to say this time that there was a specific listing I wanted to use. So now you can see here on the left, I can go find that listing in KWLS. Right there. So once I select that listing, it's going to pull in all the photos and text for me to use here on my flyer. So if I want to change this photo here at the top, there's a couple different ways I can do it. My favorite way is if you click on it so that it's highlighted, then I come over here to my list of photos. You see how I've got 3 little icons right there? So if you just click the plus, it's just going to drop it somewhere in the flyer. But if I click this replace, it's going to replace the image that I have highlighted on the flyer. So watch this. Boom. Just swaps it out. The other thing that you can do is you can grab a photo and drag it over on top of something and just drop it on, and it drops right on there. But I think this little swap feature is probably the easiest one. Replace image right there. Then, and this is different from what I have taught before because I didn't know about this listing details over here. So you can switch between photos and listing details. Once you click on listing details, you've got all of the info from the MLS right here, okay? And so if you just go over here and add, do the plus button, it's gonna drop it somewhere. Where did it go? Right here. And it's just in a random text, random formatting. Doesn't look that great, right? So if I undo that, and let's say I highlight this address right here, then I have the option to swap. So I hit swap right there and it changes the address. How cool is that? And keeps the formatting of the original. Now right here, this is all one line, the 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, da 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 da. So you couldn't really do that for the whole thing because if you just swap square footage, you know, it just puts that one little piece of information. So you're going to want to put the rest of it, just type it in, which you can definitely do. But you can highlight that and you can go, here's my description way down at the bottom, and I can swap.
If you hit the plus button, would it just automatically add it?
It would automatically add it, but it's going to add it in whatever the standard font is. So if I just hit plus,
It's going to be formatted. Okay, got
see,
it.
it's not formatted right.
Got it.
So with this highlighted, I can just hit backspace and it'll delete it. Or up here at the top, I can always undo. So I just undid that insertion that I made. Okay. Got a holder for the DBA name. So if I'm going to go to logos, and the first time you do it, you're going to want to upload your Quan logo, which you can get on the intranet. But now that I've already got it on there, I can just swap it. So mine is actually a little more centered than their standard. So I have to move it up a little bit, but that's not a big deal at all. And then I might want to add my team logo somewhere. Smaller or equal to Quan, right? Okay, you can click on any text or shape and change the color of it. Okay, so if you have team colors, you can type that right in there. Or I can use my little sucker tool and suck up a color, right? And it'll change it to match.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So let's say I wanted these words to match the leaves, right? So I can use the sucker tool and go pick a green, and it's going to make the price change words match the green of the leaves. Cool. Let's see, what else? Any questions about any of those items?
I have a question more, not so much on the design, but on the intent. When you do a price change, are you doing them like this? Because it seems a lot of times when I get agent price changes, they don't say how much they dropped it down. They just say the price is now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And so I wonder, because I actually kind of like it. It was originally listed at 210, now it's at 200. But psychologically, what is y'all's opinion on that?
So this house in particular, we dropped it 15,000. So
Yeah.
I think that's worth saying. Now, if you only dropped it 5,000 to get to the next price break,
Yep.
or just make a change or whatever, I would say,
$999, please.
yeah. We lowered it $1 just to make it look changed.
Yeah.
Then, you know, I might not say how much, I might just say changed. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. If you are designing a piece that's not necessarily for a listing, I wanted to point out that Keller Williams has given us a bunch of really cool stock images. So they've put them into folders. Lifestyle at home is a bunch of beautiful families doing a bunch of happy home stuff. Some of it is, you know, reviewing a contract with an agent. Some of it is.
And we are okay to use this in there. We don't have to be charged or anything. These are free.
Nope. These are all free.
Awesome.
Yeah, aren't they cute? And then if you don't like what was in there, you can click these 3 dots to go up the folder again. Activities. So you can, you know, if you've got a certain property that you want to advertise that it's this kind of lifestyle or the other, you know, you can drop in. Where did my yogi go? There she is. You know, say I'm doing an exercise client event. You know, you've got all these in here that you can look at and play with and put on there, and then stop scrolling. Neighborhoods. It's just what it sounds like. Some of these, you know, will not look like Atlanta at all, but gosh, in East Cobb, we could sure use the school bus one, right? Back to school. So this has a lot of pictures of neighbors and neighborhoods, things like that. Community and house types. So if you just want to do a generic house, there's a bunch of different house types in here that you could put. You know, one of these might be good for a home buying seminar advertisement or something like that. And then last but not least is app images. So there's a bunch of stock images of a phone with an app on it. So you might want to throw one of these on your open house flyer to say, download my app with the link next to it. My library, you can upload pictures of your own and it'll save them here for you to use later. And you can add pictures from your Facebook, from your Instagram, from your Google Drive, and from your Dropbox, or from your computer, obviously. So if you've got pictures somewhere that you want to use, you can bring them in here. That covers images. Text, you can add, you know, any amount of regular text. And then, if you go click over to banners, there's a bunch of fancy text. So if you wanted to do some sort of advertisement that had like a stamp or a sticker or a, you know, some sort of draw your attention to the banner. I think these look good. I think this $10,000 reduction would look good on like a sale tag, right? Or you can put a picture of the house with a sale tag. So there's a lot of cool options here that you can use, and those are all free too. Icons. So here are the Keller Williams ones. This, you know, call, text, web, whatever. There's also a million stock in here. So, you know, if you've, whatever you're looking to talk about, they probably have a picture of a fish or an apple, whatever you want. You can throw those onto your design if that makes it look good. You want to have a copy of all of your logos in here. If you click on to company, you'll see that Keller Williams does have some uploaded for us. for different things already. So really the only ones, if you have a personal logo, you'll want to put that in there. And then your Quan logo in your marketing profile, you'll have access to that as well. Up here at the top, you can drop in different shapes. And you can use frames. This is a great place to access frames. So you might want to put a star right in the middle of something. And then, oh, my image thing has died. Say I want to make myself a superstar. I can put myself, looks kind of ridiculous, but into a star shape, right? So that's a weird example of a frame, but I like circles. You can make a circle picture. Those look really good. And I like this computer screen one too. That's a good one. So that's how frames work. And then text, you can just add, you know, like a text box like you would in Word. Okay. Any questions about those basics of laying out a flyer design? Okay, so this really ugly flyer, I'm super excited about it. It's my favorite so far. I can just hit done and it'll go just save it to print later.
I do have a question. You were showing us different things and your flyer was plain, but all of a sudden it's got a checker box background. How did that happen?
So a checker box just means that something is transparent, which means things will print. It can be put over something and the printing will show through. I probably deleted a big rectangle that was right there.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know. All
yeah.
Right.
There you go. I just filled in the background. I think I deleted a big rectangle that was back there. But that checkerboard, anytime you see that, it means that that image is transparent. So for example, this logo, this Quan logo is transparent, and so is this Bright Homes logo. And if I put it right here, you can see the whole image behind it. If it were not transparent, this would be a big, ugly white rectangle with the logo, and you wouldn't be able to see the image behind it.
Carrie, when you hit done on that, I didn't see a spot, or maybe it was at the beginning, where you would give a name to this particular flyer.
Yep, yeah, that's right up here.
Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
So it'll start with a name that is just the name of the template. And if you forget to rename it, it'll just save it as that.
Okay.
But if you want to, you know, I have a lot of templates called test just because I was playing with it.
No, but typically I might have, say, like 123 Main Street price reduction or something like that.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And that helps you find it later if you want to print more copies or something like that.
Yeah.
Danielle, did you have a question?
Yeah. Hey there. So my question is, last time I was looking at this, I think the reason why I stopped using this is that you couldn't save a flyer that you had just created and then save it again and save it again with edits. Like you'd had to do like this one flyer and then you had to go back and, you know, reinvent the wheel every time instead of, you know, just doing like a save a copy. And so I've never used this because of that. Did that get fixed?
It's better now, yeah. It did used to be like that, but now, so if I hit done, it's gonna save it. Or if I forgot to save it, I can hit save. And then, so while that's saved, oh, never mind. I'll go back to that in a minute. You can download it right from the screen we were just on, is all I was gonna say, but. So now it's going to take me back to my designs main page, and here's this flyer I just made, right? So before, all you could do was open and print that flyer, is what Danielle's talking about. And now they've made it so that you can copy it. So if you want to keep a copy of that, say it's for one listing and you want to make a copy for your next listing, it makes a copy, and then I can edit the copy. just by clicking on it.
And
So
when you edit that copy, you can save it with a different name.
Now I'm going to open it up and I'm going to change the name.
Okay.
So, hey, are they going to, so is the stuff that's in KW, like the My Marketing, like on the internet, is all that stuff going to go away and they're all going to switch it over to here?
So when you say My Marketing on the internet, I think that you're talking about eEdge marketing.
Probably, yeah, because that's where either that or my, for virtual, I either use Virtuance for my flyers, since I do my photography there, or eEdge, just because of this reason right here. This is the first time I'm hearing that you can now save a copy, so I didn't want to redo a new flyer every time.
Totally.
So,
I didn't want to either.
so
it was fine
eEdge,
if
is
you
that
were
going
using,
away?
it was fine if you were using the template as is, but it didn't, you know, if you made it the same edit, yeah, it was very inefficient. So now that you can do that, they are not going to bring over all those old designs. If there's one in particular that you really love, I would bring in the PDF of it, like I'm going to show you, and just make it your own template in here if you want to use.
But eEdge is going to go away. I mean, all that marketing stuff is eventually going to go away.
Not for a long time, at least.
Okay. All right.
I don't know exactly what's going to happen with the Edge.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to ditch it super soon.
Okay.
This little share, you can share it right from here, or you can download, which for flyers, I usually just download to my Google Drive a copy of the PDF. So you can do a JPEG, which is what I do for social stuff, a PNG, which is a transparent image, like that I showed you with the logos, or get a PDF. Now, if you're going to send this to a local printer to print to put in the house, you want to pick high resolution anytime you're printing something. But if I'm just going to post it on my social media or email a copy to somebody, I'm going to do standard quality. Okay, so if I start the download, so that is saving in my download file right now, right? So I'm going to say I'm done. Okay, there it is. And I'm going to get on out of here. Now, let's say I downloaded something from Virtuance or a friend that I have permission to use a PDF. I had something professionally designed years ago and now I want to change it, right? I don't know why there's two copies right there, but there are. I can go to add and I can import a PDF. So you can see it opened the design program, and instead of showing me templates, it went straight to my designs. So I can go to import PDF. So go to import PDF, it's gonna show me my browser. I'm gonna go to one that I downloaded yesterday. I just listed flyer and say I got this in my email and I just really liked it. So I can hit open. So it's uploading that to my designs. Thinking. I may give that a minute and go on over to social, just because nobody wants to watch something uploading, right? And I'm going to go back to the designs by clicking that KW up in the top left corner. That doesn't seem to be working like I like it. So I'm going to click the X in the top right corner. That worked like I want. Okay, let's say that we want to do a Facebook post or ad for our new listing. So I'm going to click in the bottom right corner. Now, Danielle, if you wanted to use the same thing that was a successful ad last time, I would go to social. And here's an ad I ran a few weeks ago. And I would just make a copy and then open it and swap the pictures and I'd be done, right? I can rename it right here too. So if I already had a design that I liked, and you know, it's a good thing to develop a design look that you like so that every time people see that ad or that post on Facebook, they can recognize it as yours. So it's not a bad idea to develop something that you really like the way it looks and then just keep it going. And you know, you could, once Crossville sells, you can just edit this one straight up. But if you're ever going to want to run that ad again, you might not want to change it, right? So just to go from scratch, I'm going to hit the plus and I'm going to hit social. Let's go ahead and do a listing just for the heck of it.
Carrie, I assume when you're going in and looking at property addresses, is it just pulling from your listings?
No, this is
No.
any listing. So if you're doing an open house for an agent and you get their permission to run an ad to do that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you can find actually any company. It's all of the MLS.
Gotcha. The key word being permission.
That's right. You got it. But I certainly encourage, if somebody has an open house in one of my listings, print your own flyers with your contact info on it. If you're working that open house, there's no reason not to, with my permission. Okay, so here we are in social ads. Now, some of these categories, I want you to notice that it only gives you Instagram as an option, whereas other categories, it's giving you Facebook and Instagram stories, LinkedIn, and Twitter. It's the same content that they've just resized for you for each of those different platforms. But I'm going to be completely honest. If you do something Instagram size, it's going to work for Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. That square format works just about anywhere. The only thing that you might want to do especially is an Instagram story, because an Instagram / Facebook story is that kind of full screen vertical size. So you probably want to use one of those and just edit it to your needs. So let's say I wanted to do an Instagram story about my price reduction. So I can go ahead and take this image that is already sized exactly like it needs to be, hit use. Go ahead and now the problem with stories and listings is we do all of our photos horizontal, don't we? That looks kind of good. And then I'm going to go back to the text. Remember, I can switch back and forth from pictures to text right here at the top of this listing. And so I'm going to highlight this street number, street name, and I'm going to click swap. And see how it wrapped it? So the zip is down there. I can just grab this box and stretch it out so that there's room for that zip. And for this one, I'm just going to edit. I'm going to take the time to do all of this right now. I don't know why that picture went in there. Probably because I just touched it or something. What is happening? I insert all the pictures? That's not good. Anyhow, you guys get the point. And then I would probably download this to my computer and then, or my phone, and then upload it to my Instagram as a price reduction story. Any questions about that? Doing something social. Let me go back. I think they've got the most social options of any category. Social media is really your best advertising money these days. And when you run Facebook ads through the Command platform, you're using all of Keller Williams' advertising power behind your ads. So I do run my ads through Command when I can. Sometimes I want to do something a little fancy that I go to actual Facebook, but for the most part, most ads that I run can easily be run through Command, and you get really good placement and really good bang for your buck when you run it through Command.
Are those paid ads or?
Paid ads, yep, yep. Your personal profile clout, if you want to say, is all up to you. And you can post any of this stuff to your personal page, and I think, you know, I don't post listings to my personal page ever, ever, ever. Unless I'm at one of my listings and it has a really beautiful rose bush. And then I may say, oh my gosh, look at this at my listing. But I'm going to, you know, I might do, there's some really nice holiday social statuses. So I think these are great to post on your page. It's super easy to update. You can add your contact information to it and post it, and that's it. I did like these that they did on Valentine's Day about being in love with the neighborhood, or this neighborhood will steal your heart. Is this listing the one for you? Is this a match? I thought those were really cute on Valentine's Day. Let's see what else. Local Expert is a really nice series that has some stats. So that's something that you can put. We have access to so many great stats. So every time a new, you know, report comes out, you can look at it and say, well, what piece of information here is the most powerful to me and really tells me the story of the market? Mm-hmm. And you could adapt one of these stats. I have seen people that are posting like maybe this one, how's the market, every week. And they're saying, okay, this week, this is what's happened.
Amanda's been doing that a lot on Facebook. Yeah.
Well, those would be really easy to just throw together right here, right? Just run, if you want to make it all about East Cobb, say, how's the market in East Cobb? You know, here's what's happened. Look, in the last 24 hours. That really tells people something about what's happening right now. You know, 150 houses have gone in the market.
Hey, Carrie, I got a question for you. This one that says 4.13.5%.
Uh-huh.
And it's got the picture, which I know is a stock photo because I remember seeing it earlier.
Yeah.
How did it make that transparent?
Yeah, good question. I'll show you. Yeah, there's a few kind of advanced editing options. So this is just a big picture on the background. Mm-hmm. And if you go up here to this little opacity, you can make it all the way solid and you can make it disappear. And you can do it any amount in between.
Ah, got it. Okay, cool.
So you just kind of adjust it until it looks nice to you.
Can you do that on any picture that's there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, cool.
And then let's say, let me get, I don't want to have the picture selected anymore. So this 4.31 is one piece of text. Mm-hmm. And this average mortgage interest rate is another piece. Do you know that you guys can like select one thing and then hit control and select something else and it selects both of them? Do you know about that? So in any, like if you're in Word, you can select some text and then go down further, hit Control and keep selecting and it'll select more.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right? So right here, you'll see a lock unlock button. So you can take the lock and you can lock a couple of things together. I'm trying to make it do that. It's not selecting very well. Okay, so now they're both selected, right? Because I just dragged over them. Oh, and now my lock went away. Why? Usually has pictures. If you hit this lock and unlock, it's going to tie those pieces together so that you can move the whole chunk around the design.
Okay.
So if you get them aligned, centered, just like you like them, and then you just want to move them over, you just lock them together. And it's not working like I want it to right now, but. And then let's say you put another picture. Right? And you're like, oh, well, now I can't see my 4.31, right? So I can take this picture while it's selected and I can use the arrange button up here. It's like those little, it's a square over a dotted square. If you click on that, I can say, send this envelope picture backward one. And the more I click on that, the more backward it goes.
Oh, right. Okay.
I can send it all the way to the bottom and it's actually going to go, it should go. Well, you know what? My picture is my background. That's why. So you can change kind of how they're stacked, right? By clicking that arrange. You can use the duplicate button. You can use the trash button, right? You'll find as you move things around that they will try to lock, you know, if it sees the edge of something, it'll say, see that blue line that just popped up?
Yeah.
That blue line is telling me that my 4.31 is centered over my average mortgage interest rate.
Got it.
So you can use those guidelines to help you get things lined up right. Right? Good question.
Cool.
Cool. Exactly an hour. I'm so proud.
Carrie, I have one other question that really relates to something different, but on Instagram versus Instagram stories, I don't really use Instagram that much, and I probably need to. What's the difference between just Instagram and Instagram stories?
So Instagram is a very highly curated graphically thought out post. So it's going to be very on brand. You're going to, and people put their posts in a certain order so they look nice together. So it's going to be, lately we've been doing all quotes and testimonials. So you'll see a quote, a testimonial quote, and the colors are very consistent and it's a look. So when somebody goes to your Instagram profile, that's what they see. Your stories only show up for 24 hours and they're kooky, they're fun, they're your personality. They don't have to match your logo. It can be a little video about you talking about something. It's more on the go.
Organic.
Organic. Yes.
Thanks for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Connie, have you noticed on Facebook the little circles at the top? Because Facebook,
I will look for that.
Yeah, Facebook owns Instagram, so they brought stories over to Facebook too. So it's kind of a similar feel. Like stories are just at the top. It's kind of like real quick way to just see what everyone's up to.
Gotcha. Well, and I gather that there will be a different class, or maybe you've already done it and I need to go educate myself, because I've heard about landing pages, but I don't really know exactly what that is for command.
Yeah, we have classes coming up on stuff like that, but just super briefly and shortly, a landing page is a one-page website.
Gotcha. For instance, for a new listing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
And there is in our quantrain.com YouTube channel, there is one that Kevin did on landing pages.
Okay, I'll go look that up because I've got a new listing coming and I want to be able to do that. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I bet Amanda does a good job on for stories, doesn't she?
I'm sure she does.
Let's see what she's doing. So the next classes, just so everybody knows, June 8th at 11 o'clock is campaigns and Facebook ads. June 17th at 11 is smart plans. Where's her stories when you're on her profile? And June 22nd is going to be opportunities.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Y'all are welcome. I hope everybody got what you came for.
This is terrific.
I'll stay on for another second if anybody has any other questions.
On the print, sometimes are you just printing it at home? Are you sending it to a local printer?
Especially flyers, I just print at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carrie.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.